Hi A-Rates, it's Miss Shafiq again speaking. I hope you're all well and having an absolutely lovely week. Today's lesson is a revision lesson. You have finished the respiration topic, my goodness me. I hope you found it really interesting. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've always liked lessons on the heart and the lungs and anything to do with human biology. I found it really fascinating. So I hope you guys have found it as fascinating as I do. Today's lesson is just going to be a revision lesson. So we're just going to go through a couple of things. I'm just going to give you some tips on what I would like for you to do, and then really it's up to you to get it done and then submit that picture onto class charts. Okay, so no new information today. We're just going to recap what we've done before. I'm going to give you some tips on how I'd like you to present the information, and then you guys can just get on with it. And then when you're done, submit the picture on class charts. Before we here's a do now task for you. Okay, so there are 3 questions here, very straightforward questions, so it's really only going to take you 3 minutes. I'd like for you to press pause and complete the questions, and when you're ready we can go through them together. Okay, let's have a look at question number 1. Question number 1 says, what is the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? So there are actually a couple of things that you could have written for this one. The difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. We know that aerobic respiration uses oxygen, anaerobic does not. And we could also say actually that in aerobic respiration you have carbon dioxide and water as your products, but in anaerobic respiration we have that thing that makes our muscles hurt called lactic acid as our product. So we only have one product, lactic acid. So those are the 2 different things that you could have written as a difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. The most important one is this one here about the oxygen. Aerobic respiration uses oxygen, anaerobic respiration does not. Question number 2. There are 4 blood vessels and 4 chambers of the heart. Can we name them? I think we can name them. I'm just going to do pen in a different color for that one. So your 4 blood vessels, we have the vena cava, we have the aorta, so that's a vein and an artery, then we have the pulmonary artery, and we also have the pulmonary vein. Well done if you got those ones correct. And then the 4 chambers of the heart. I really like learning about the heart because it's always about the rule of 4s. There seems to be 4 of everything. So 4 chambers, can we name them? Of course we can. We've got the left atrium, we've got the right atrium, we've got the left ventricle, and we've got the right ventricle. Well done if you got those ones correct. Okay. So your 4 chambers of the heart, you've got the left atrium, the right atrium, the left ventricle, and the right ventricle. And then finally, question number 3, which is completely unrelated to the topic. What is the name used to describe the process of light bouncing off a mirror? And the answer to this one was reflection. So in science, the scientific term for bouncing off is reflection. So it reflects. So you could have said reflection, or you could have said reflecting. So well done if you got those ones now. So correct. I've set out 4 circles, to the small circles and 1 large circle on the page. And what I'd really like for you to do is just to make some headings that are the exact same as the ones that I'm going to make. So for the first one here, I've got aerobic respiration. Okay, and in this box, what I would like for you to include is the location. So where inside of the cell does this aerobic respiration take place? I would also then like for you to write the equation for it, and I would like for you to write the word one and the symbol equation for aerobic respiration. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to write the location. The second thing that you're going to do is you're going to write both the word and the symbol equation for it. And then the third thing that you're going to do is you're going to write down what that it produces, what is produced as waste, and then what is released. Okay, so we know that it releases energy. That's the whole point of the aerobic respiration. So I would like for you to write down this information into this big big circle right here. Okay, use your notes. If you can do it from memory, absolutely fantastic. You can use it to revise. If not, go back in your book, see if you can find that information and then write it down into that big circle for me. Once you've done that one, in the smaller circles, we're going to write down the other topics that we've learned and how they link to aerobic respiration. So for the first one, we're going to do the lungs. So in this one, I want you to write down information about the lungs, and I want you to include I want you to include the names of the different parts. So I'll give you one, the trachea, and I want you to tell me what the process of gaseous exchange is. Okay, so write a definition for it. Which gas is coming in, which one is going out of the blood? I want you to write those down. And then for this circle, I want you to write about the heart and the blood vessels. Okay, so we're going to link everything together. So in that one, really, I want you to write down the heart and the vessels. So I want you to write down the name of the structures of the heart. So the 4 vessels and the 4 chambers that we talked about. So structures, you're going to write this down, the different parts of the heart. And then you're going to write down the function. What's the point of the heart? What's it going to do? And as a little clue, it's linked to the blood. It's got something to do with the blood. Right. So I want you to write down the information about the structure of the heart in that circle and its function. What's its job? What's its role? For the next circle, I would like for you to write down digestive system. What's the role of the digestive system in all of this? What are we going to obtain from the digestive system? It's linked to something that we need for respiration. So we know that respiration requires glucose and oxygen. The lungs, the heart, the digestive system, they are all linked. Some of them are going to be important for oxygen, the others are going to be important for glucose. Okay, so the digestive system is really important to obtain glucose and make it find its way into the bloodstream. And then finally, what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to do one box about anaerobic respiration. So for anaerobic respiration, I would like for you to write down what the equation is for anaerobic respiration. I want you to also write down the definition So we did this in the starter activity, didn't we? Definition of anaerobic respiration is respiration without oxygen. And then finally, I want you to write down when this happens. Why might we have anaerobic respiration? Where might there be a time where we don't have enough oxygen? Okay, so this is how I'd really like you to lay out your information. You might need like a double page depending on how big you do it. If you use just one side of A4, that's absolutely fine as well. But really, it's just a nice way to present the information that you've done in this whole topic. If there's anything else that you want to put on there as well that I haven't mentioned, like for example about the rib cage, about the diaphragm, when we did the lungs, you can do that. If you want to write down about the heart, if one of the blood vessels get blocked, what implication might that have? You can do absolutely anything that you'd like, any other information that you want to put on there that's going to help you revise. But as the key bits of information, I would like for you to include exactly what you see on the slide in front of you. Okay, so I've just given you a kind of summary list of what you want to include on each one. If you don't want the information presented on the bubbles like I did on the previous page, I've written it as a list here. So for your respiration, I want you to include the equation, which is the word and the symbol where it occurs, and that is used to release energy. On the heart, I want you to name the blood vessels and chambers and what its role is. The lungs, I want you to write the features and what it's used for. And then for anaerobic respiration, I want you to write the equation and when it happens. And that's really it. That's the end of today's video. So it's a very short video, but it's going to take you a while, I think, to draw that mind map. And when you have done that, submit it on class charts. Your teachers will be checking, as will I. Any questions, please email me or your class teacher. We'll be happy to answer any queries that you might have or any question that you might have about something that you didn't quite understand the first time round. Okay. The other thing I was going to say as well is that if you have a look on class charts, you should find the answers to the task that you had to do in your previous lesson, that worksheet that you had to do as well. So have a look at that one. You can look at the answers and go through them in your own time. But otherwise, that's it from me. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the series of lessons, and I'll hopefully see you in school next week. Bye.